Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Wizard101 new player walkthrough. Before I get started into the game, we make our character. I did forget to mention in the announcement video the invite a friend promotion system that Wizard101 has. So if you are a completely new player and you want to try the game without actually having to spend any money, you can come to this page right here. The link is wizard101.com/game/invite a friend, or you can just Google Wizard101 invite a friend and it'll take you straight to this page. Now, what you can do when you get to this page here, at least what I recommend doing, is if you click this button right down here at the bottom, you can actually join the official Wizard101 Discord. And then from here, you could ask someone in, the general chat or something to generate you one of these invite a friend codes. Basically, the premise is you click on this button right here, and it will take you to a page which presents you with a code. Then you, the receiver of that code, would have to go to wizard101.com/friend to then enter this code. The basic way this system works is you, the receiver of the code, in other words, you're the friend in this case, will be given 2 weeks of membership entirely free. You don't have to spend any money. You just get this for free when you make a new account using that referral code. Do bear in mind that the account does have to be made using this link right here. So you can't go to the normal webpage like this and make your account here. You do need to go to wizard101.com/friend to be able to use this code. You can't use the code after an account has already been made. So it has to be used at the time of registration, which can be done here. But if you do this, again, you'll receive 2 weeks of membership completely free. You don't even have to spend any money. You just get to have 2 weeks of membership to just play the game. Membership is the subscription-based system for the game. After the first world of the game called Wizard City, you hit what everybody refers to as the paywall, which is the point in which you can no longer play unless you are a member of the game. So this will give you 2 weeks of that membership for you to be able to explore past that paywall to really get kind of a feel for the game. In the event that you do end up, enjoying the game and wanting to play more of it, and you do purchase an actual membership, the person who gave you this invite a friend link will receive 2,500 crowns. Crowns is the premium currency for the game, which can be used for all sorts of different things. And then you yourself will receive 500 crowns on top of that. Again, 2 weeks of free membership you received for initially doing this. So it's a pretty good deal for everybody involved. There's really no downsides to this. Even if you end up playing the game and deciding you don't want to continue playing it, you still got that 2 weeks of free membership. So you actually got to experience more than what the average free-to-play player gets to experience, and you didn't have to spend any money. So I highly recommend taking advantage of this, even if you're not a new player. You're someone who's been playing the game for a little while. If you're someone who's always been stuck behind that paywall, you've never actually had a membership, this is even still a good way for you to be able to experience the game past that. And for anybody who wants to, make a second account, because that's a thing some people do, you can, utilize this as well to get 2 weeks of free membership and a free 500 crowns, which I did do for this playthrough series, and we are actually going to be taking advantage of the 500 crowns that we got right out of the gate. But without any further ado, let's get into actually making our character and starting this. Oh, that's awkward. You relaunch the game here. Alrighty, now that we're back in the game, let's go ahead and get this started.
Aha! The spell is working. Look, Gamma. Finally, we have found one.
Oh!
A young wizard. A student with amazing potential. Enough.
Oh, really? Where?
Oh, a very, very distant realm. Oh, my goodness. On a world that does not even believe in magic.
What a meta line.
I wonder what manner of wizard they might become. Perhaps we should consult the Book of Secrets.
Headmaster Ambrose turns to regard you intently.
Answer these questions to find out what type of wizard you are.
Alrighty, so for anybody who hasn't played the game before, this is effectively a personality test, which will determine which school you're going to play. Again, I already know we're going to play a death character, and I'll explain why a little bit later, but we're just going to do this just to see what happens. So when I compete, my goal is to win, team player always. Which of these is the most powerful? Well, let's see. Let's think about this here. We got blizzard, hurricane, tornado, earthquake, plague, sandstorm, or volcano. Honestly, I think we're gonna probably gonna go with plague, just because as history dictates. It's you know, like, it's pretty deadly. Plagues can be pretty bad. My favorite activity is I can't decide: reading, playing games, camping, or fishing, playing with my pets, competitive sports, learning something new. Well, I mean, we're playing video games right now, so let's go with that. What's your favorite season? Well, I hate winter. I hate cold. Uh, Alternatively, I live in a place where it gets very warm in the summer, and I don't really like that either, so we're not going with that. So it leaves us with spring and fall, and I think, honestly, I think I'm going to go with, probably with fall. I think this is probably one of my favorite seasons. We're currently living through it right now, and I'm having a good time, so. Most important thing in a story is the hero or heroine, or all of the characters. Probably going to go with the hero. I mean, can't have a really story with a bad main character, right? What is your favorite animal? Polar bear, bat, unicorn, crab, shark, serpent, or dragon? I think if I had to pick between these options, anyways, I think we're gonna go with a dragon. I was actually Year of the Dragon. So, what's your favorite gemstone? Amethyst, ruby, peridot, or onyx? You know, out of these choices here, I'm probably gonna go with amethyst. Okay, so that gave us the storm school. So had we stuck with this personality test, then we'd be playing a storm wizard right now. But again, I already know that we're not going to be doing that, so we're gonna skip. Go ahead and we're just gonna pick death. Hit okay.
But now that we know what you are, what do you look like?
We are a boy, so we'll go with that.
Remember, if you ever wish.
All right then. What is your name?
Boy. Oh, you have to do this. Okay, you just have to hit the custom button. So let's go ahead and let's pick out our styles here. Let's see what we got here. Just gonna do that. We're gonna do this. What did it pick for us? Oh, this one right here. You know, honestly, I think I'm okay with that one. So I think we're gonna stick with that. And then we're gonna do. You know, I think I'm okay with that too. I think. So we have to change color. Cool. Let's see the mouth option it picked for us. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that too. If I'm being entirely honest here. Lip color. What? You know, you could change the lip color. Whoa. Options here. Yeah, I'm fine with that too. Something like that. Face paint. I don't want any face paint. I think the face paint actually looks a little goofy, and we don't really need the glasses either. As far as our color scheme, we did pick death, so let's do something related to that. For anybody who's curious, all of the schools in the game have their like school colors. So for death specifically, I believe it's just black and white. So that's what we'll do. Cool.
Remember, if you ever wish to alter your appearance in the future,
and we can
pay a
always
visit to the Magic
go back
Mirror shop
and
in the
change
shopping
this.
district.
So
All right then. What is
as far
your
as
name?
the name, you know what the first name's gonna be. And I probably should have gone the other direction now that I think about it. Kyle, and then what I kind of want to do is I want to have a name that implies we're a death character, but I don't want to use the word death in it. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use. We're gonna do Skull, which is up here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Yep, right here, Skull, and then I'm not sure what we'll do for this last word. Let's do Oh, Reaver would be pretty sweet. So I think we do Kyle Skull Reaver. That's pretty good. Just so everybody knows too, these names are all, you basically just have this list to choose from. You don't get to like make your own name. You just get to use these combinations to create a name. And that's our character. So let's get started. Let's get in the game.
Well, hello. If it isn't our newest student.
I am going to skip this tutorial because I'm going to give a more basic, kind of fleshed out rundown of how the game works when we actually get closer to a point where we're going to enter combat. So we're just going to skip this. Alright, I mean, we're off to a real rocky start here. So yeah, we're going to skip the tutorial. This is just going to take us straight into the headmaster's office, where we're going to start our first quest.
Welcome to Ravenwood Academy, young wizard. And normally, this is where you'd be enrolled and sent to your classes. But times are not normal. There's some kind of supernatural incursion in Unicorn Way that must be dealt with immediately. I wonder. You've demonstrated such potential, I think practical experience will serve you better than lectures. Care to put your talents to the test? Splendid! Time is of the essence, so I'll teleport you there directly. Seek out Private Connolly, the Wizard City Guard in charge of that area.
Alright, we're off to our first street.
Welcome to Unicorn Way. There are creatures here who will attack you if you get too close to them, so stick to the task at hand.
Whoa, 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 young student. The street's very dangerous right now. Is there something I can help you with?
Wizard, do you see the symbol above Private Connolly's head? That means he has something important to tell you. Go speak with him.
Alright.
What's that? You say the headmaster sent you to help us? Well then, you're just... This used to be a pleasant street, but we've been invaded by hordes of strange creatures. The guards and I have been doing our best to push the creatures back, but we're no... Maybe your fancy wizard magic will do the trick. Go battle a few of those lost souls, then report back to me. Good luck.
To battle the monsters, run up to them on the street. When you get close enough to them, they will summon a combat sigil, and you will be pulled into combat. If you want to avoid battle, you can keep safe by staying on the sidewalk.
It's so good that they included this into the little tutorial
section
of the
If you can drive away
game.
some of these lost souls, we'll be in your debt.
Alrighty, so before we get into our first fight, I'll pretty much explain the basics of combat. So as you saw right there, when you run up to a monster on the street, they will pull you into a combat sigil. Wizard101 is a turn-based combat game. It's more like a card game almost. So the way I'll explain the cards here. So in the top of the spell there, you'll see it. That's the title. This one is Dark Sprite. In the top left corner of that is the rank of the spell. The rank of the spell directly correlates to its pip cost as well as its mana costs. So pips are something you earn at the start of every round in combat. You consume pips to cast spells. So a rank 1 spell like Dark Sprite here will consume 1 pip to cast. It will also consume 1 mana to cast as well. And mana is this blue number down here at the bottom. That's how much we have. In the top right there is the school of the spell. Again, we chose death, so that skull symbol is the death school symbol. In the bottom left, you'll see that percentage there. That is the accuracy or the chance we have to cast the spell. So we have 85% base accuracy on a death spell, which means there's a 15% chance we'll fizzle. So when we cast a spell in a round, we'll obviously go through the animation of casting the spell. If we successfully cast the spell will go through. If it doesn't, it fizzles. And again, there's a 15% chance that will happen. In the bottom right, that's the type of spell this is. So this is an attack spell, specifically a single target spell. So that little fist symbol is what that means. And then in the kind of text space below the picture is where it will tell us what the card does. So this one attacks for 65 to 105 death damage. And then we also get these guys down here. This is our spell deck. So this is where we can put cards into our deck. Again, I don't have any spells other than Dark Sprite because we just started the game. These spells down here are what are called item cards, as indicated by this kind of backpack symbol right here. You get these from items you have equipped on your character. Because we just started, we don't have, really anything equipped other than this wand right here, which is where all those spells came from, as you can see right here. This wand also gives us 5% accuracy to all schools. And you can hover over, these items on this to see what they do. And again, all I did was right-clicked to pull up this window right here. Before we get too far, I'm also going to turn on a couple features that I recommend anybody who plays this game turn on. The first is backpack item lock. This will allow us to lock items in our backpack. Oh, I forgot to hit OK. Boom, boom. Back to here. The reason why we want this is because when we get a little later in the game, it's not relevant right now, but there's this button right down here. This is called Quick Sell. This will allow us to sell items in our backpack from where we stand without having to go to like a shop or anything first. And if you don't have an item locked in your backpack, when you hit Quick Sell, those items can appear in the Quick Sell category. So there's of course going to be items we won't want it to sell for us, so we just lock those items. This also prevents you from accidentally feeding it to your pet or deleting it. So it's just an awesome feature to have, and everybody should turn it on. I also recommend turning on Remember Realm too, just because it makes life a little bit easier. And again, those two options can be found in gameplay tabs 3 and 4. So you can find those right up here. Alright, let's go get in our first fight. So again, to enter combat, all we do is we just have to walk up to one of these guys. So we'll approach this guy here. He'll pull us into a combat circle. And this will put us in our first fight. Again, these are the pips. These are the things I was talking about right here. They're shown right here at the bottom of their battle circle, as well as down here at the bottom of your player character's information. And all you do to use the spell is you just click on the card, click on the enemy you want to use it on, and that's it. It's pretty simple. At least right now it is. Again, it's turn-based combat. This little drawing on the ground right here shows, I guess, whose turn it is or who's going at the time. And in that battle specifically, the enemy went first. And it's just random who goes first and who doesn't. There's no guarantee that one goes first over the other unless you have a party of 4. So again, he went first again. We're just gonna hit him. This point of the game is pretty simple, really. It's just kind of click point and getting used to how turns work and, you know, pips and whatnot. So there's not going to be a whole lot going on here for a little while.
While your character is transparent, you are safe from combat, but it only lasts for a short time. Get to the sidewalk before it wears off.
And also, too, to know where like you have to go for your quests or your objectives, there's this arrow down here at the bottom that tells us how far we are from our objective as well as what direction it is. And this will track with where you are. So, obviously, we're going to talk to Private Connolly, who's standing right there. But the arrow is pointing us, you know, more like this direction, and it's doing that just because there's obstacles in our way. We can't just walk straight to them. So it'll kind of show you how to actually get to someone.
That's turned the tide. We'll follow your lead and start pushing these ghostly things back. But I'm worried we won't be able to drive the phantoms away for good without knowing why they're attacking us. We've got to find out what's behind this. Another intrepid student, Sirin Nightchant, also came to help. Maybe he's learned something useful.
Oh, hey there, I'm Saren. You're new here, aren't you? Well, I couldn't help but notice how you took down those lost souls. I have to say, I'm quite impressed by your spells. When I heard there was trouble on Unicorn Way, I rushed right over. But then I saw what's out there. Skeletal pirates. Skeletons I can handle, but skeletal pirates? Pah! Yar! No, thank you! Pirates give me the heebie-jeebies.
Excuse me, did I hear you two talking about skeletal pirates?
It would be good to know exactly what we're up against. Do you think you could battle a few skeletal pirates to see how tough they are? Great! I'll mark their location on your map. Thank you so much for doing this. Good luck!
Ooh, press M to access your map. You'll notice several points of interest, including the locations of enemies. Because you'll be engaging in combat, it's imperative you know how to regain health and mana. If you need to boost your health, collect the red wisps you see along the street. Ooh, if you need mana, collect blue wisps. Remember, casting spells costs mana, and fleeing combat drains it completely. So keep your reserves full.
Go battle a few of the skeletal pirates on Unicorn Way. The guards will appreciate a report on their combat tactics.
Another thing that missed too is when you do level up, which we did just level up here. This bar at the bottom right here is our XP, or at least our progress towards leveling up. You do get all of your health and mana back, so this gets replenished every single time you level up. That's a fact we're going to be taking advantage of here in a little while. As well too, I did want to point out, the game kind of mentioned it too, but when there's these kind of question marks above people's heads, those are people you need to talk to. When they're golden, it means you need to talk to them. When they're silver like this, it means you've already talked to them. This right here is the game trying to tell us that this person has a quest available. We call these side quests. So the main quests are indicated by these stars that appear over them in your quest book. To access your quick book or your quest book, you can either click on the little book down here in the bottom and then go to the quest tab, or as you see, you can press Q to access the quest book. We are going to take this quest too. We're going to try to do as many side quests as we pretty much can, probably all the way up until the end of Mushu. The biggest reason why is because some of the gear we're going to need to accomplish some things a little later on, we're going to need to do some side bosses for. So
I overheard you two wizards
we'll be doing a lot of these, and also because the first few worlds in this game don't actually give you enough XP to reach the appropriate level you should be when you finish that world. So the general gist in this game is you'll typically gain 10 levels every world you do. So this is the first world, so by the end of this we should be at least level 10. We'll actually probably be a little bit closer to level 15 since we'll be doing all the side content, but you should be, you know, level 10 for the first world, 20 for the second world, you know, 30 for the third world, and so on and so forth.
Rewards. Good hunting.
And then, yeah, we're just gonna jump into battle with one of these pirates here. $80 health, that's it, huh? Well, let's see if we can use this to take him out. That's tough. So that's what a fizzle is. So that spell I just used was Thunder Snake, I believe is what it's called, and it has I believe a 30% chance that we could fizzle, so about 70% chance we could successfully cast the spell. Obviously we did not, so it fizzled, and we lost our turn effectively when that happened. Cool, and it did enough damage that it actually took him out in one hit, so we don't have to go again. And again, that dark sprite spell we just used, it's a range of damage that it can do, so it either do 65 up to 105. So there is a chance, you know, using this spell that we actually wouldn't take them out in one turn, which is kind of why I'm using this. I'd like to take them out in one turn if we can. And as you guys can see down here, losing mana as I use these spells, so again, a rank 1 spell is going to take 1 mana every time we cast it. We use 3 spells. Oh, when you do fizzle too, you still lose the mana that was required to cast that spell. So we used a Dark Sprite, lost 1 mana, fizzled a Thunder Snake, lost 1 mana, successfully hit with a Thunder Snake once. Therefore we've lost a total of 3 mana.
You child.
To put on new equipment, press B to open your backpack. You will see icons showing your hat, robes, shoes, and other items. Mousing over an item will compare its stats to what you currently have equipped. Select the best equipment available to your school.
Thanks again, young wizard. Maybe I can find another helpful young wizard to help sweep up all these eye patches.
Cool. We just got our first item, so we'll go ahead and we'll put it on here. You can either equip items by just opening your backpack and then double-clicking on the item, or right down here, this button right here you can use to equip items. Or...
Oh, wow! You made it back! The pirates warned about a rattle in the darkness? See, this is what I was talking about. Pirates are always creepy and frustratingly vague. What is clear is that some evil magic has emerged here, and we're going to need more than a handful of guards to stop it. There is a powerful, ancient being who may be able to help us understand the dark forces we're facing, the wise seraph, Lady Ariel. Not only does Lady Ariel possess strong magic, she's also the warden of the fairies, and they keep her well informed. Perhaps she's heard something about this rattle in the darkness. Go speak with her in the hedge maze at the far end of Unicorn Way.
I was also going to say that we can also equip items that we get from either drops or from quests like that by clicking on this item here. Anytime you get an item, it'll pop up right here on the side. You just click on this, and just hit equip, and that'll put it on for us as well. And we're also going to
I sent Private Orion down the street a while ago, and he's not back yet. With all these lost souls about, I fear the worst. Orion's a good friend of mine. Could you go see if he's all right? He may be hiding in one of their houses. See if you can find him.
And then we grab this quest right here too, because I already know that it's actually on the way to where we need to go. You can press M, and it'll kind of show you on the map. You know, sometimes, this doesn't always work, but sometimes it'll actually show you who you need to talk to. So you can see Private Orion, this quest we just picked up. Again, it is a side quest. We know that because it doesn't have the little star icons here. But he's right here. And then we'll have to walk all the way up here to go talk to Lady Oriel for the main story quest. See what Private Orion's got for us.
Get back on, dead fiend! Oh, a student, is it? You're a brave one. Connolly sent you to check up on me? I'm well, but I did have a bit of a scare. I was making my rounds when a horrifying ghost swept out of nowhere. I recognized her from the old stories. Lady Blackhope, the Wailing Widow. I'm not ashamed to say she scared me half to death. I hightailed it here and shut the door. I can't leave this place if she's still out there. Blackhope Tower's not far away. That must be where she came from. Maybe something in there can drive her spirit away.
Right. Then I want to say, yeah, say she's actually in this building right here. We're going to come back to her in a second, though. I'm not going to do her quite yet. We're going to go down the street to Lady Oriel, because I'm going to have to come back to those guys over there. And when you are walking around in the game too, something to kind of pay attention to is a lot of the mobs in this game, the street mobs, they'll kind of move in patterns. So you can see these guys, they come to about right here, and then they stop, and then they kind of turn around and go back this direction. So this space right here is completely safe for us to walk in. So if we needed to cross the street, you can do that. I would pay attention to these kind of movement patterns, because you can find little areas like that you can kind of walk through to get around them without having to fight them.
Halt! What purpose brings you into our hedge maze? Forgive me, young wizard. These dark times make me leery of new faces. But now I see the light within you. We've much to discuss. The evil forces that loosed the undead upon Unicorn Way have also corrupted my precious fairies. Please, you must help them. Vile bone cages have appeared along Unicorn Way. They are filled with a mysterious dark magic that corrupts all fairy folk who venture near them. Dispel the dark magic in the bone cages, then bring me fairy dust from those it corrupted. It may reveal to me who is behind this atrocity. It pains me to say it, but the only way to obtain the fairy dust is to wrestle it from the dark fairies in combat. Try to be gentle. Once you've dispelled the bone cages and collected the fairy dust, return to me immediately. Good luck, young wizard. May the light guide you.
Alright, let's go get some fairy dust. What's that? Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is just open these bone cages here. Just hanging from these 3 lights. I always grab those 2 right there. And there's one, I believe it's like right around here somewhere. Maybe not. There's for sure one up here, yep. There it is. And then yeah, there's one right there. So that'll give you the 4 you need, and then we can start fighting these guys. Again, to fight them, we just walk up to them, and there we go. These guys got a little more health than the other guys do too, so we'll probably have to use 2 attacks to take them out. Whoops. Fortunately, in this first little bit of the game, the combat's, again, it's super simple. You pretty much just click on a card and click on an enemy and do that, rinse and repeat until they die. My big goal for this episode is to get up to level 7, so hopefully I'll be able to get into something that's a little bit more complicated than just, you know, click it, click it, click it.
Now that terrible cloud has been lifted. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you!
You hear a tiny, joyful voice call your name.
Thank you for helping us, kind wizard. Your courage and benevolence will not soon be forgotten by the fairy folk.
You've cemented your reputation as a hero to the fairy folk, young wizard. With the bone cages dispelled, I can help the other corrupted fairies in time. Now we must root out who is behind this attack. Please, let me examine the fairy dust. Is that? But how? The fairy dust displays scars of a dark magic banished from this world long ago. Could it be? Rattle in the darkness? Rattlebones. In life, a ruthless tyrant who was banished to the underworld for his crimes. If I focus, perhaps I can sense his location. Oh, so much darkness. No, my vision is obscured. All I see is a tower ringed in bones. Siren Nightchant knows Unicorn Way. Perhaps he can help. You must hurry. Here, take this broom. It will allow you to travel to Siren much faster. Now fly, and may the light guide you.
You've received a temporary mount that will expire after 1 day. You can also purchase permanent mounts from mount vendors or the crown shop. To equip a mount, press B to open your backpack. Next, click on the Mount tab and double-click on the mount you wish to use.
Quickly, you must ride to Siren at once. Ask him if he knows of a tower ringed in bones. Go.
Really awesome if they added all this into the game. It used to just not tell you really anything once you got stuff. So this is a mount. If you've ever played any other MMO before, especially like World of Warcraft or something, you know, you can equip one of these to move around the world a little bit quicker rather than walking around like we've been doing. This is a temporary one. It only lasts for a day, so after 24 hours it'll be gone. But we have a solution to this problem, and get into that a little bit later too. Did also mention as well that you could buy mounts with crowns in the crown shop, which is this button right up here at the top left. We won't be able to do that because the rules I have specified for this series is that I can only use any crowns that I actually buy just to do stitching, which is transmogging for anybody who might know it that way. Basically, we can just take and make one item look like a different cosmetic item while retaining the stats of the item we mogged into. Or keeping the stats of the item we changed the appearance of. Oop, actually, we're going to go, before we go talk to Syrian again, we're going to actually take out Lady Blackhope, who's in this tower right here. I think we have the ability to do that now.
You say the city guards are scared? Malister has opened the seals. The dead rise. Let all who still live beware. My dark master will be avenged. You want me to stop haunting this street? Ha! Let's see if you have enough spirit to stop me.
Dang, so they hid that behind a side quest, huh? They basically just told us exactly what's going on here. Alright, so this is our first fight, first actual real boss fight. And as you can see, there's 2 enemies in here instead of just the one, so now we've got to take on both enemies at once. Again, we're going to try to make this easier on ourselves by taking out this guy first, by hopefully not fizzling a Thunder Snake, because it does enough damage to kill. Nice. Alright, so that's one guy out of the way. And again, for dealing with her, it's just same thing as we've been doing. We'll just click and let the cards do their thing. Oh, she fizzled. Nice. Oh, so did we. That's alright. Alright. You can also right-click on cards in your hand to discard them. Once a card is discarded, it does not come back, so it's now gone. But you can do that to kind of free up space in your hand for more cards to fill in. On the left here, you can see that I have 2 of 11, so I still have 2 cards left to be drawn out of the 11 cards total that I had. So I removed one last turn and used a card as well, so we should have those last 2 cards coming into our hand this turn. And I did that so we can see this guy right here. So there is ways to recover your health during combat when you're fighting somebody using healing spells. You know this is a healing spell because it has the little heart symbol down here in the bottom right of the card, and it also says that it will heal us for 245 health. I'm not going to use it because I don't think we'll need it, but I just wanted to show that we have that. So if you were in this fight and your health was getting low enough that you wanted to heal, you have that card to do it. Dang, we have it on the low side. Oh, got one more turn of this then. And we'll do the imp to finish her off. She fizzled again. We probably won't because this is a really high chance of successfully casting. There we go. It's our first boss fight.
I suppose you have enough spirit after all. Go tell the guardsmen I will haunt them no longer.
Cool, we did get another hat. We can't use it, but we can save that for later. Sell that to make a little money. Because we're going to need a lot of money. Oh, gotta go talk to Private Orion over here first.
You defeated Lady Blackhope? Thanks, Wizard. I'll return to my post now. As a favor, please don't tell Private Connolly what happened. I don't want him to think I'll flee from the first ghost that chases me. I only run from the really scary ones.
Yeah. Really scary ones, huh? Okay. Never helps you sleep at night, I guess. And again, we've got 2 to turn in, so we can talk to Private Connolly
I see
here.
you found Orion. I suppose some monster scared him out of his wits, and he was too frightened to come back.
Well, see, what had happened was...
Well, it's not the first time, and I wager it won't be the last. All's well that ends well. Thanks for finding him, Wizard.
It's kind of funny. I'm pretty sure Private Orion used to be the guy you'd talk to all the way up at the gate at the front there, so they kind of did our boy dirty.
Hello! You were gone for so long, I was beginning to worry you'd run off and joined a skeletal pirate crew. But what did Lady Oriel have to say? Oriel thinks an underworld tyrant named Rattlebones is behind all this? Wicked. Let me think. He's in a tower ringed in bones. Well, the skeletal pirates do seem to be concentrated around the old archives. Try looking there. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Cool, we'll get some boots for finishing this too. I think we already have boots. Really what we need is a robe, but whatever. They just look like that chest I just grabbed back there. Sometimes you'll see random items around in the world that you can pick up and use. We'll see if I find one in this video, and I'll try to explain why that's important. But I don't know if there's any that spawn in Unicorn Way, so we might have to wait.
Good work, my thrall. This could be the Tome Malice.
That's right, we don't even have any other spells. Right, let's take this guy out.
A wizard. Excellent.
This guy's not actually considered a boss, but just like the boss we just faced, there's 2 of them, so we have to take out 2 people. And again, we're gonna try to take out this one in one shot. Might not work since there's a chance it'll hit low, but let's see what happens. Darn, yeah, she got 10 health. Again, not a big deal. We'll take these guys out, no problem. I will use this to finish her off. It has the highest chance of not fizzling. Sweet. 1 down, 1 to go. Cool. I think he's low enough now that a dark sprite will finish him off. Yes, he is. Cool.
The day is yours, young one. But the Dark Master's plan is already in motion. You haven't heard the last rattle in the darkness.
We're playing on my rattle bit, huh?
In his haste to leave, Rattlebones dropped the tome he was holding. It could be important. Perhaps Saren will know what should be done with it.
And we did get
As you
actually a
walk back
robe
onto
from that fight too, so we'll check that out here in a
You can't
second.
help but notice that the dark magic that was previously choking the street seems to have abated.
Let's see what we get. The novice's robe. That's actually not bad. It's a pretty decent drop for the level we're at right now. And we did also, we're going to get boots from this quest right here, and we're going to use those. I'll kind of take that to explain how stats kind of work in this game here in a second.
You did it, didn't you? You beat Rattlebones! The darkness plaguing Unicorn Way is lifting. Look! With Rattlebones defeated, the gods should be able to drive away the rest of the undead horde. Ooh, that tome looks important. You should take it to the library in the Commons. Harold Argleston will know what to do with it.
Cool, and then we'll be off to the library. Looks like Connolly here's got another
Say,
quest.
can you check up on someone for me? She's just down the road a bit, and she usually keeps her lights on. She doesn't like all the lost souls roaming around.
Here in
Can't
just
say
a
that
second,
I
but
blame her.
we did get another pair of boots. We're going to use these boots over these ones, and the reason why is because of what it provides. So the basic way stats work in this game is you'll see this hat right here. It provides +2 resist to the death school. This is a percent-based resistance, so when we receive an attack, our resistance will reduce the incoming damage from that attack. So right now, any death spell that comes our way is going to have its damage reduced by 2% when it hits us. Likewise, those boots that we just got, you'll see it has the death symbol and the this little kind of hand right here, and it's +2. Again, if you hover over stuff, it'll tell you exactly what it does. So it's +2 flat damage death school. So what that means is all of our attacks with death magic are going to do 2 more damage. And that flat part specifically means that it's going to do 2 more damage. So if this was 2, but it was just +2 up here, it would do 2% more damage, but because it's flat damage, it's only doing 2 more damage. So it's not percentage based, it's additive. So that'll just be added on top of the damage our spell already does, rather than multiplying the damage of the spell. We're going to go do this real quick. I don't know where this one's actually at. It's not too far. Actually, also not sure if that was available before we left here. Probably should have checked. There's also a chance too this quest may not even really be worth our time, but we'll see.
Oh, hello. You say that Private Conley was worried about me? He always does fret so. I'm all right, but I wish someone could do something about all those ghosts outside. Sometimes I wish Auntie Em could join me here. I'd feel better with her around. Say, I was having my friends over for dinner, but they are running late. I fear for their sake with all those ghosts roaming around. Could you check up on them? My 2 friends live on this street, down towards the park area. Look for a house with a light on in the window. You can't miss it.
Alright, 45 XP's not bad. And I don't know if we'll have to come back here, but in the game you do have the ability to put down we call them markers you can then teleport back to. So we're going to leave it right here. You do that by clicking this button right here. This will basically just save us some time, so in the event that we do have to come back here to talk to her to finish this quest, then we can. I don't know if we have to though, because the lights just changed color in that house. Any building you can enter is always going to have blue lights on. So you see these ones are all yellow, so that means we can't go inside those buildings. Went the wrong way. Shoot. Oh, and then we got pulled. That's unfortunate. Alright, it'll be quick. See, instead of doing 65 damage right there, our spell did 67 since we have that 2 flat damage.
What? You say that Dorothy is looking for us? We were just about to be on our way.
Oh, I told you we should have left earlier. Now we've gone and made her worry about us.
I'm sorry, but I cannot find my oil can. You wouldn't want me seizing up on the way there.
Oh dear, we always go through this. Can you return to Dorothy and tell her we'll be running late as usual?
No, we do have to go back. Nice. That just made it so much easier, so now we don't have to walk all the way back here. We can just
They are safe
teleport.
and sound? It's good to know that they are just running late. Now I won't have to worry. I always fear a wicked witch might show up and whisk them back to her castle. This land is so strange. Not like back at the farm. But I do like it here. Headmaster Ambrose is such a nice wizard. And my new friends are nice too. I'd say that in all, this place is as fun as a barrel of flying monkeys.
Would you say hello to Private Connolly for me?
I can't say I've ever heard anybody say that something's as fun as a barrel full of flying monkeys before. Just referring to those old toy flying monkeys, but I feel like that's a joke. Kids playing this game aren't gonna understand, man. Some old school stuff.
Glad to hear Dorothy is doing well.
Cool. Yeah, we're not gonna use these boots because they're not really that useful at this point right now. Honestly, our gear really doesn't even matter that much because I mean these stat bonuses are so small that it's not really gonna affect combat at all.
Well, hello there. I don't think I've seen you in the library before. I'm Harold Argleston, Master Librarian Extraordinaire. You say you recover this tome from an underworld tyrant who is going to give it to his dark master, Malistaire? I do believe this is a matter for Headmaster Ambrose. You should take the tome to him at once. But before you go, allow me to reward you for your heroics. Please, accept this treasure card on behalf of the denizens of Wizard City.
Treasure cards are special one-use spells of various schools. You can purchase treasure cards from vendors or craft them yourself. Press P to open your spell deck. Treasure cards are listed under a special tab and are placed into the sideboard of your deck. During combat, right-click a regular card to discard it. Then select Draw to bring out a treasure card from your sideboard. Remember, unlike regular spell cards, treasure cards can only be used once, so use them wisely.
Cool. Yeah, so they give us a sprite to kind of briefly touch them, or to really show what they were just talking about right there. When you go in your spell deck right here, this is the thing we were looking at earlier. There's another tab up here in the top left called Treasure Cards. These are cards you can put into what's called your side deck, and these cards can be used during combat. You can draw these cards from your side deck after discarding a card from your hand, so you get rid of one card to draw one of these cards. And you can, I mean, these can be any school. You can get these anytime. You have to buy them for the most part, anyways. They're dropped from fights and everything too, so you can earn them, but a lot of the time you're going to be buying them. And these are super useful. We'll be taking a lot of really taking advantage of treasure cards in some of our future fights.
Whoa there, chum. Stop a second and introduce yourself. Me? I'm Boris Tallstaff, ace reporter at the Ravenwood Student Gazette. I make the noise, I rattle the cages, I ask the tough questions, like, what's the deal with magic? Where did it come from? How did we learn it? We need to ask these questions, and, if there's time, answer them. But how? Books, huh? You know, you might be onto something there. But all the best history books were stolen by ghosts looking for the order of something. If you happen to find any of these books, bring them back my way, kid. I'll condense them into one crackerjack article on the history of magic.
This quest has multiple simultaneous objectives. You can see them all by opening your quest log and pressing the arrow keys on this quest. Use these arrow keys to select the objective you wish to complete first, and the quest arrow will point you to it.
I'd imagine that if we're at a school teaching magic, they're probably teaching the history of magic, so this guy might want to just maybe pay attention in class instead, but we'll go find his books for him. So we just killed Black Hope, so we'll have to go back there to get this book for him at some point, but we're gonna pass on that just for right now. Keep moving on the storyline here. And I take quests like that because we can kind of do them as we're playing through the game. So a lot of these books are located in spots where we're going to be fighting bosses here a little bit later. So we can kind of grab those as we're doing that and just free XP for us pretty much.
Back. I'm anxious to hear your update on Unicorn Way. Evil darkness summoned from the underworld? Oh my. Rattlebones, you say? But he was banished centuries ago. How could... Oh... Malistaire, of course. But why? Rattlebones was searching the Unicorn Way archive for this tome? Well, let me see what it is. On the trail of the Order of the Fang. Oh, my stars. I will certainly look into this. While I do that, you need to attend to the matter of your long-delayed enrollment. If you are to truly master your magical talents, we must induct you officially into our academy. I'll send you now to Mr. Lincoln, our registrar in Ravenwood. He will introduce you to our professors and help you begin your studies.
From time to time, you'll see icons appear on the right side of your screen. These are tooltips. Click on a tooltip.
These over here.
Many people throughout the spiral will contact you through tooltips to announce new features, events, or spell quests. If you miss a tooltip, look for it in your tooltip log by pressing Q and clicking the top left icon.
Off to school, ladies and gentlemen.
You must be the new student I've heard so much about. You made quite a name for yourself on Unicorn Way. I'm Mr. Lincoln, and I just have some quick paperwork to get you enrolled. Signature here, initials there, and a lock of hair here. Are you allergic to unicorns? Or eyes of newt? Good. That takes care of that. To complete your enrollment, come meet your professors.
Welcome! I am the professor of the Ice School, where we teach thaumaturges to endure like permafrost, withstanding all attacks.
While in the Storm School, we instruct young diviners to strike hard, fast as lightning, defeat the enemy before they know what hit them.
We pyromancers of the Fire School prefer to carefully fan the flames. Utilizing damage over time spells, we slow burn our enemies to cinders.
Commanding the elements is indeed impressive, but Theurgis of the Life School seek harmony with nature, which gives us the power to heal others.
Sorcerers also seek harmony, symmetry in all things. Balance is a unique magic from Crocotopia, which supports and enhances the other schools.
I hope he's standing backward on purpose, and that's not a bug, but I guess we're gonna find out.
Fireballs and flowers. Fresh magic, that. All wizards summon monsters to fight for us, but only the best conjurers dare study the ways of myth.
I don't know if the oddly dramatic turnaround is really necessary there, but cool.
And I'm Malone, not, exactly a professor. We haven't had a real deaf professor since the last one turned evil and destroyed the school, so, But I can get you started at being a necromancer. Our death spells drain health from enemies, damaging them and healing ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, so that mechanic right there, this is the whole reason why we picked death for this. It's going to make our lives so much easier. The drain mechanic is essentially just that when we hit enemies and we damage them, half of the damage we deal comes back to us as health. So we're going to be taking huge advantage of that mechanic throughout this entire walkthrough.
As the official interim teacher of death magic, I can get you started as a necromancer. Let's just get out of the way. Welcome to the crater where the deaf school used to be. Until Headmaster Ambrose finds a replacement for Malistaire, you can come to me to train. I can even teach you advanced death spells when you reach the right level of experience. Probably. I'll let you know when that is. For now, I've got one spell for you. Ghoul. Train it, then head back to Mr. Lincoln.
You're already learning multi-pip spells? Oh, splendid! At the beginning of each round of combat, you get some spells, like this one, take more than 1 pip to cast. To use it, pass a turn, or cast a 0 pip spell to build up your pip supply.
That's actually a really cool tip right there. I'll show what that really is. Alright, so now we have another spell. We have actually 2 new spells that we earned there throughout that little bit right there. Death Trap. This is a ward spell. So what this does is we can place this onto enemies and it will increase the incoming damage. In this case it's a death trap, so it'll increase death damage. So we can put that on an enemy, and the next time we hit them with a death spell, it will do 30% more damage. So this is a pretty awesome spell. It's also a rank 0 spell, and so it costs 0 pips and 0 mana to cast. So this is a free way to build pips, and we need to do that because we just learned our first rank 2 spell, which will require 2 pips to cast instead of 1, with the ones we've been using Dark Sprite. So we won't be able to cast the spell right away in battle. We'll have to wait a turn before we can do it because we'll need 2 pips to cast it. So we can put this on an enemy to build that pip and increase our damage, and then we can hit them with this. Forgot to mention too, this is actually our first drain spell too. We know that because it's got this broken heart symbol right here. So this will do 160 damage and then heal back to us half of that in health. So if it does 160, we're going to get 80 back in health. So that's kind of the name of the game with death. It's what makes a death wizard a death wizard.
You've met your professor. Great! You can train spells in your school for free, but to learn other school spells, you must spend training points. Here, I'll give you one now. Use it to start training a secondary school. And if you change your mind later, see me to buy back training points. Anyway, now that you're enrolled, you get your own dorm room to store items and decorate however you want. This is the boys' dorm here. And this is the girls' dorm. You can also use the Go Home button to reach your dorm room from anywhere. Once you get settled in, report to the headmaster.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll show, not right now, but eventually we'll actually go into our dorm and I'll show you what dorms are used for. You can decorate them and stuff, so it's kind of a more social aspect of the game, but there's also a functional purpose for them too, so we'll get into that when we finally reach that point in the game.
You're officially enrolled now? Then let me formally welcome you with this new healing spell. Let me also introduce you to our resident advisor, Abby K. Doodle. She can tell you all about our many electives when you have time. But on to more serious matters. It seems the troubles in Unicorn Way were but the tip of an evil iceberg. While you were gone, chaos erupted all over the city. Undead run amok in the streets, and our former allies have turned against us. Malistaire must be behind this. Your victory on Unicorn Way makes you the perfect person to deal with this crisis. I foresaw you might save Wizard City. Now's your chance. Go to Old Town and talk to Sergeant Muldoon immediately. We must set things right and discover Malistaire's goal in all this. Good luck.
One last word before you embark on your quest. I've tried to answer most of the questions you'd have, but there is much more to tell you. If you haven't looked into your spellbook yet, click on the book in the bottom right of your screen. Click on the question mark tab. Many of the questions you might have are answered in the help pages. Oh, good luck, young wizard.
Cool. And then when we do learn spells too, it automatically populates your spell deck with the max amount you can equip of that spell. We don't need these. We're not going to need 3 of these in the same way that we're not going to need 3 of each of these. So we're going to go ahead and kind of shore up our deck here a little bit. Again, you can remove spells from your deck by just clicking on them like this. Oh, excuse me. And then you can add them back in by going to the page that the spell is on and just clicking on the spell to put another one in. Again, this will show you how many you have as well as how many you can max have. So we can have a maximum of 3. So all 3 of those dots are filled. As you can see, I can't add any more now. And again, we take them out by doing that. Then it will show us how many are in our deck. So what we're pretty much going to rock is we're going to rock 1 Dark Sprite, 2 Death Traps, 2 Ghouls, because from this point forward, most of the enemies in the game are going to have enough health that we'll have to use this to kill them, or like 2 of these. So what we're pretty much going to be doing a lot is just putting this on an enemy and then using this to kill him. And then we're also going to take some of these out because we don't really need these in our decks anymore. And we're pretty much only going to leave the heal and then the 2 higher damaging cards in here. And this should get us through actually quite a bit. We're going to be doing this for quite a while. But we're level 5. Cool. I'm going to switch realms real quick here too, because sometimes the comments area here can get a little laggy when it gets pretty crowded. So we're just going to switch to Imp. Sure. I see it's empty. Game runs fine now. And then we'll also no, we'll just keep going. And then for anybody who has an active membership, this is Majid. He is the loyalty rewards genie. So every month you'll be able to redeem, you should be able to redeem these loyalty tokens, and you can use these loyalty tokens to buy different things. This is super helpful, and we'll be taking advantage of this guy a little bit too. Since the only thing we'll be effectively using in this playthrough is the membership.
Beware! Beyond these gates the city's gone mad. Wait, you're the hero of Unicorn Way. The headmaster sent you to help. Thank goodness. We've got undead all over the place. Every cursed spirit and vile ghost we sealed away has broken free and attacked the city. Nowhere is safe. Gah, now what? Oh, it's a pet. They're kind of like a wizard's familiar. They help out in all sorts of ways, from discovery to dueling. But it shouldn't be in that tower. That's the caretaker's tower. Nobody's been in there since old Judd, the keeper of the cemetery, passed. Oh, right. Undead. Wizard, go with the pet, work together, and find out what's happening in that tower.
We'll get to that here in just a second. We're going to talk to Crindle here.
You must be the new student I've heard so much about. I can see by the gleam in your eye that you're bound for great things. I want to fashion you a proper set of magical robes. They'll help you on your journeys and look good too, if I do say so myself. But the gobblers ate all my supplies. I'll need you to get some more so I can make the robes for you. I'm sure you can do it easily. I'll need good cloth. Shawls from the haunted minions on Triton Avenue will serve nicely, along with fabric from Fire Elf hats in Firecat Alley. Finally, I'll need good leather. The belts the Cyclopes wear will be perfect. You can get some in Cyclops Alley. Go forth, young wizard.
So this is a quest that this one's going to be sitting in our quest book for quite a while here, because the enemies we have to kill are, we'll encounter them a little bit later, but we just wanted to grab this because this will give us some level 10 gear a little bit later that we won't have to pay money for. Or gold, I should say, not money. We're also going to grab this real quick. So this is where you actually start crafting. Crafting is a side activity in this game you can use to make gear for your character, and we're going to need this.
Greetings, young wizard. So, you're interested in learning about crafting? Wonderful. Let's get started with your first lesson. The first rule is to have a clean, well-lit place to work. For that, you'll need a basic crafting table. I'm happy to make you one if you can gather the supplies. We'll need some mistwood. You can find mistwood growing all over Wizard City. Bring the mistwood back to me, and we'll soon have you a nice new place to work.
Ready. So what she was talking about when she said mistwood is actually this right here on the ground. Again, there are these things all around in every world, every street that you can pick up. These are called reagents. So we'll pick this up here. This is used for crafting, so you need reagents to craft things in the game. And anytime you see one of these, I would honestly recommend picking it up. We're going to need a lot of reagents, and some of the things we have to craft a little later in the game are pretty difficult to craft and require a lot of them. So it's definitely wise to grab stuff like that anytime you see it.
That mistwood should do nicely.
Miss Tangletree gets to work with hammer, plane, and saw. In a few moments, you have a nice little work table.
Now, with a basic crafting table, you have a place to work. Now, with your work table, you can begin to learn the fine trade of crafting, making your own items. First, you should place the basic crafting table in your dorm room or castle. Your first assignment is to make 2 daggers of absolution. You should have no difficulty. You'll need to buy a recipe from me and then gather the required ingredients. When you've got all your ingredients, use your basic crafting table to make the athames. When you have made 2 daggers of absolution, bring them back to me and I'll award you a novice crafter badge. So remember to bring them here when you're finished. Good luck. I can't wait to see them.
Right, so the basic way that works is we have to talk to her again. So in order to craft something, you have to have the recipe for it. So what she's asking us to craft are these guys right here, the Dagger of Absolution. These are the ingredients required to make the Daggers of Absolution. So you see we need 2 cattail, 2 mistwood, 4 black hole, and then 2 sapphire. But we have to make 2 of these, so realistically you should double each of these numbers to know how many we need to complete this quest. Again, the recipes cost gold. The act of actually making that item doesn't cost you any gold, but the recipes do. And then we can also buy some of these reagents. We don't necessarily have to find them. We can just buy them. And for the purposes of this quest,
Have you brought the 2 daggers of absolution I asked you to make?
The coal we need as well as the sapphire we needed. So we can buy both of those here. We can't, however, buy the cattail, which are these things right here, or the mistwood that we needed to finish that, so we have to find those items. I'm also not going to be doing the crafting quest quite yet. We'll do that a little bit later just because it costs us a little bit of money and we're kind of broke, so we're going to need to save up that money as much as we can. We are, however, going to talk to...
Well, hello there. I've not made your acquaintance yet. It's always good to see fresh faces here in Wizard City. I wish I had studied to become a wizard instead of, becoming a town guard. Say, I found this book on one of the benches while I was strolling to work this morning. It looks important, and I don't have time to drop it by the library. Would you take it there for me?
Seeing as we'll have to go back to the library at some point, we'll hold on to that. And then we will go and we'll do this real quick.
You now have a pet egg in your inventory. Once it hatches, you can equip the pet just as you would a wand and bring it into the tower.
Alright, so this is these are pets. This is the tab for pets right here, it's just in your backpack. This is probably the, honestly, probably the single most important thing in the game is the pets. We'll get into this probably not for quite a while. Probably around like level 20-ish is probably when we'll start really getting into this. And I'll kind of run through how all this stuff works. But for right now, just know that every time you complete a main story quest like these ones right here, you'll get 4 XP for your pet. And the pet tab, if you click on this one right here, you can see all of the different stats for the pet, as well as their pet talents, the experience for the pet, as well as its age. So anytime a pet levels up, so after this pet acquires 4 experience, which it will get after we finish this quest, it will go from baby to teen, and then teen goes to adult, adult to ancient, ancient to epic, epic to mega, and then mega to ultra. At each point in which this pet levels up, it will acquire a new talent, which will populate right here. You can see the full list of talents a pet has right here, and you don't actually get to see what the talents the pet has are, so you have no idea what these are. I'm pretty sure in the WizWiki you can look up this pet and it will actually show you what all of these are. But when we get into pet training and everything, I'll kind of go over these mechanics a little bit more in depth, because there are ways that you can actually change the talents that appear here through a process called hatching. So we'll get into all that, but just know that pets are really, really important. So you'll definitely want to bear that in mind as we kind of go forward.
No, I lost! I can't believe You, other wizard, hurry! You have to help!
You shouldn't have come to this tower. No, shouldn't have done that. Gonna interfere with things don't concern you. Like my plan to turn all pets into zombie pets, You'll see you will. When it comes to pets, sometimes undead is better.
If you have a pet equipped, it can help you in battle.
As I was saying earlier, general strategy for pretty much all enemies going forward. You see this guy's got 150 health, so this spell would not kill him on the first turn. You'd have to use it twice to finish him with this, and sometimes maybe even 3 times if it hits low twice in a row. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a death trap. This will increase the damage of our next death spell we hit him with, and since again it does not cost any pips, you'll see that now we have 2 pips, because we didn't use one last turn because this didn't cost any. So now we have the ability to cast this spell, which does more damage than he has health, so we'll just hit him with this and we'll move on. Again, the drain mechanic, so we hit him for 210 and then healed ourselves back for 105.
But I threw the key to my pet kennel into the kennel itself, I did. You can't get through those bars, no how.
What? That's terrible! We have to get into that kennel. But how? Huh? Oh, I'm Penny Dreadful. I'm new here. When I saw this zombie guy stealing the pets, I tried to stop him and I guess I need more practice. You were great, though. But I don't suppose you have any shrinking spells to help us slip through those bars? Oh! What about your pet? It's pretty small. Can you command it to go into the next room and get the key?
You are now commanding your pet, allowing you to get to places and see things wizards can't. Use this ability to enter the next room.
I'll be honest, this control your pet thing I think gets used throughout the entire game maybe twice, so we'll pretty much never use this. So I wouldn't worry too much about this part specifically.
Now that your pet has retrieved the key...
Great! Now let's go save all those poor pets!
Up we go.
Ah, these cells have combination locks and only old Judd would know the code. I mean, maybe the captive pet saw him put in the correct combo, but I don't speak pet. Do you? I'm seriously asking. Maybe we can guess the combo. Let's see. 00001. Nope, not it. 00002. Not it. Oh, forget it. This is ridiculous. Our only sensible option is to find some way to talk to these captive pets and get the combo.
Man, it would take you forever to guess a six-digit combo. That's crazy.
Yep, I saw that smelly guy put in the combo lots of times. It's 000003.
Okay, as it turned out, I spoke too soon.
Don't worry. I'll make sure the pets get back to the pet pavilion in one piece. Check it out sometime to learn all about pet training. After they're safe, I'll go to the headmaster's office and complete my enrollment. Come find me when you get a chance. For right now, though, go tell the guard outside what's happened here.
Back to Sergeant Muldoon.
You save the pets and a young student, not bad. But our work is just beginning and I need all the help I can get.
Speaking of which, your pet has gained enough experience, XP, from this quest to level up. As pets level up, they can learn new talents. With this talent, you can command your pet to attack. Select your pet's power card before you choose your wizard's action for the turn. This talent costs a bit of your pet's happiness each time you use it. You can increase your pet's happiness by feeding it pet snacks.
I've got alarming reports from Cyclops Lane and Triton Avenue, and I haven't heard anything out of Firecat Alley. So, where do you want to start?
So if you don't purchase a membership in this game, the only one of these streets you're actually able to access is Triton Avenue. There's the other one, Firecat Alley down at the bottom, Triton Avenue right here in the middle, and there's Cyclops Lane up here at the top. These two are Firecat Alley and Cyclops Lane are membership areas. So unless you have a membership, you actually can't access those areas. But if you take advantage of that invite a friend promotion that I was talking about at the start, then you can actually access all of this content without hitting what we call the paywall. So you'll actually be able to experience the extent of the game. And in 2 weeks, you actually can get fairly far in the game, I would think. Within 2 weeks, and not doing some of the things we're going to be doing, you should be able to get to, I'd say at least Dragonspire, I would think, which is about the 4th world in the game. So you can get fairly far. You might even be able to finish the first arc of the story in 2 weeks, but that'd be really pushing. You have to play a lot. But you should really get fairly far with 2 weeks. So if, again, you're a new player and you haven't played the game yet, then I really strongly recommend taking advantage of that promotion to actually be able to fully experience the game. Because getting stopped right here at Triton Avenue is so little of the game, it's not even funny. You hardly even got to experience the game. Again, this combat's so simple right now. We're basically just doing this and then, you know, using this. So we're not really doing a whole lot, but much later in the game it becomes so much more than that. So I, again, strongly implore you to do this. And again, if you're somebody who's been free to play for a really long time and you actually already have an account and you want to try some of this stuff, then it may not hurt to make a second account and just take advantage of that promotion to be able to try that stuff. Because again, it costs no money. You don't have to do anything. You get the 2 weeks of membership without even having to buy anything. It's just in the event that you do end up buying something, the person who gave you that code gets a reward, and then you also get a small reward, which actually we can also take advantage of now. So everybody starts with 75 crowns in the game. You get that completely free. You don't have to do anything. It just happens when you make your account. Again, since we leveraged that promotion and I paid for a membership, we got that extra 500 crowns for doing this. And then the person who gave me the referral code actually got 2,500. So they made out pretty good from this little deal, which is why nobody in the Wizard101 Discord should have any issue giving you an invite a friend code. It doesn't hurt them in any way. It only stands to help them. So again, take advantage of that promotion. I seriously implore you to do that, which is what we're going to do right now. So with this 575 crowns that we got, we're going to go up to the crown shop here, and we're going to go to the gear tab right here, go to Athames, and we are going to purchase this. This is the Heart Steel. This is probably easily the best beginner item in the game, hands down, no questions asked. We're going to be using this for a really, really long time. And since we did that promotion, we actually have more than enough crowns to purchase this item. Now, if you are someone who has been playing the game for a little while and you didn't take advantage of that promotion or don't want to because you don't want to start a whole new account, there is another way you can earn crowns without having to spend money. Of course, you can also buy them on the website. I want to say the cheapest pack of crowns you can get is like 2,500 crowns for $5. Which of course would also help you buy this, but again, that's requiring you to spend more money than you're already doing on top of the membership you're paying for. So what you can do is there's two ways you can actually go to it's gameplay options 2. There's this earn crowns option at the bottom here. You can turn that on, and then in the top left here there's this earn crowns button. Basically when you hit this, you're going to, it'll basically play an advertisement, and when the advertisement's done you get 10 crowns for watching that advertisement. I think the longest advertisement that you can get on there is like 30 seconds long, so I mean, it's not horrible. And I want to say you might be only allowed to do 10 of these a day, so you can earn 100 crowns a day through the earn crowns option. Again, 30 seconds a piece. It's a minute for 2 ads, so it's basically 5 ads a day, or 5 minutes of watching ads to get that 10 crowns, or that 100 crowns. So it's really not bad. I really recommend doing this. I think you might even be able to, after I think about 10 days of doing this, I think you can buy one of these areas. So if you're someone who doesn't have a membership, you can buy your way through the game. I don't know if I'd recommend doing that, just because 10 days is a long time, and I'm pretty sure that only allows you to buy one of these. I want to say these are like 1,000 crowns to get through. Could be wrong on that number though. It's been a really long time, and I can't check for you because I have a membership, so they'll just let me into these areas. But I don't recommend doing that. If you're really dedicated, you could buy a 1-month membership prepaid potion in the crown shop. I think it's like 8,000 crowns. But again, that would take you a significant amount of time to get, a little over 2 months. So, you know, just, I guess, you know, I mean, it's an option for you if you don't have any other options. But let's go ahead and we'll grab all these quests here quick.
Triton Avenue. Your Triton Avenue's been overrun by the undead. I don't have any guards left to try and deal with it either. You're not the first student to offer help. 2 wizards named Griffinbane went in a little while ago, and there was another named Grimwater. But none of them have come out, and I've gotten no word. Can you help me try to find them? Good luck, and above all, be careful. You say this was orchestrated by the former Death Professor? I thought he was dead. Well, all the other dead are back, so yeah, that makes sense. The whole city's a mess. The guard is completely overwhelmed. I hate to ask, but could you see if Private Quinn on Firecat Alley needs help? There's a part of the city we contracted out to the Cyclops Legion, appropriately called Cyclops Lane. But their leader, General Achilles, proclaimed an edict outlawing all things with more eyes than he, and forced all residents out of their homes. It's strange. Achilles always seemed an honorable fella, without insecurities about his ocular limitations. No idea what could have changed his mind. Professor Cyrus Drake took this personally, as he and Achilles go back a ways, and sent his student to investigate. Let's see, I wrote his name down. Ah, yes, Nolan... Wait, Stormgate? That can't be right. Anyway, find a kid on Cyclops Lane and, well, help them.
Alright, so the first one we're going to do is we're going to do putting out the fire. This will actually take us to Firecat Alley, as you can see right here. I usually like doing this one first just because it's the one all the way at the bottom, so you just get that out of the way pretty quick. And also because I think the bosses down here, I think, at least in my personal opinion, I think they're easier than some of the ones you'll find in Triton Avenue and Cyclops Lane, so we'll do this bad boy first. You technically have a choice though. We could go do Triton Avenue if you wanted to, we could go do Cyclops Lane, so you can do it kind of however you prefer, but we're going to start here.
Look there, Wizard. Do you see that device? It's a teleporter. If you use it, it will transport you to other teleporters on this street. You can get where you're going quickly.
So these things right here are also very, very, very important.
Oh, you're that Unicorn Way hero wizard, aren't you? What? Sergeant Muldoon sent you? Woo! I need all the help I can get.
Okay. So yeah, these are teleporters right here. If you open up your map, you can actually see them on the map. So that's these different symbols kind of right here on the map. This is the teleporter hub. So this is where all the teleports will take you to. So if we interact with this teleporter, we'll go from here to here. And then at this teleporter hub, we can interact with other teleporters there to go to here or here. So we'll be taking advantage of that. Again, when you get quests in the game, you can look at your map to see generally where they want you to go. And then you can, you know, navigate through teleporters based on where the game wants you to go.
This street is ablaze, wizard, and not in the way it's always ablaze. It's been completely consumed by anger and hostility and violence. The fire elves have gone insane. A gaggle of them even broke down the gate to the dark cave. Now the undead have spilled out into the street. I can't hold all these roving mobs of mayhem at bay alone. Please, Wizard, can you drive the haunted minions back?
Yes, we've officially confirmed that a group of elves is referred to as a gaggle. Cool. Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and take out these haunted minions real quick. Again, we'll just use the same strategy. Like I said, we'll be doing this for a little while, so get settled in, get used to watching me death trap and ghoul. Probably double check too after this fight and make sure that I have all the right gear equipped right now. Just do a sanity check and make sure.
Truce. We'll keep to this corner of the street. But we're not going back in the dark cave. It's spooky in there.
Really hate when they give you dialogue right after a fight like that because you're stuck in the street. I know you...
The undead have
I know you're
promised
invisible
not to
and they
venture
can't
any
really
farther.
interact with you
It's
even
not
while you're in
ideal,
dialogue,
but
but
after
still
everything
just
else that's
bugs me.
It all started when the Fire Elves were rehearsing the song Recollection from Fire Cats, the musical. Everything was going fine, pitchy soprano solo aside, when one of the Fire Elves suddenly shot a tiny arrow at me. Then another elf joined in. Then another. The animosity spread like wildfire. Now even the lawn decorations have risen up and gone all stabby. A wizard named Lizzo Firespitter was coaching the elves on singing before the trouble started. I saw them attack her. I wanted to help, but I simply had to secure this position. Now I'm the only thing standing between all this chaos and Old Town. Please, will you check on Lizzo?
Yes, we can. Then we'll use the teleporter to get back to her because she's right there. And again, this is what I was saying. So this is the teleporter hub, and then all three of those teleporters are around the hub. We can use those to go to other places on the map.
This is no place for a newbie like you. Wait! You're the new kid who cleaned up Unicorn Way, aren't you? Well, I'm glad you're here now. Some fire elves attacked me and stole my spell book. The truth hurts, but I'm literally powerless without it. Could you get my spell book back? You will? Thanks. Just try to be gentle, okay? The fire elves aren't evil. Someone, something, has corrupted them.
Spooky and ominous. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a guy. Oh, we can't. He will eventually have quests for us, but looks like he doesn't right now. Oh, we got a couple. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to check my gear. Whoops. So we got the best for that right now. Best for that. I forgot to put this on. Look at that. We're also going to lock it so we don't accidentally get rid of it. Okay, cool.
Fire for fiddle! Burnt out ends of smoky days! The stale cold smell of morning! Fire for fiddle!
That line is so cursed.
My spell book! Thank you! You really are as talented as they say. However, we're gonna need more than talent to help the fire elves. I have no idea what's causing my little friends to go cuckoo bananas like this, or how to help them. But I might know of someone who does. There's a rumor of a witch who was fired from Ravenwood that lives in hiding here on Firecat Alley. They say she turned a kid into a humongo frog. I think we can convince her to use her advanced magical prowess to help the fire elves. I might be too optimistic, but that's the human in me. The wizard in me is worried she's the one who caused all this. Either way, we need to find her. Perhaps one of the other denizens knows how. I saw Shellis Gruffheart cowering in a corner at the top of the hill instead of helping me while I was running for my life earlier. Oh well, go ask Shellis if he knows where the witch lives.
Funny enough, that's actually the guy we need to talk to, I think, because he eventually gives us side quests.
Leave me alone! Oh, you're a wizard. Wait, you're not two fire elves in a wizard costume, are you? No? You promise? 'Cause I know ice magic. Okay, I believe you. Which is good, because I don't know a lick of ice magic. So, are you here to save me, magical child? Not quite. Fair enough.
What do you want then? Do I know where the old witch is? I'm not sure. What I am sure of is that the bedeviled fire elves stole my strongbox. My entire month's earnings are in that box, wizard. You get my strongbox back. Wink, wink. And maybe I'll remember the answer to your question.
Crazy. Over here trying to help people, and this guy's like, get my stuff back and then I'll help you help people? Crazy. I want to say these guys have like a pretty decent amount of health, actually. I'm gonna find out here in a second. Yeah, they do. So we need to hit them with something and then kind of do our usual strats. We'll just try this. Cool, now he's low enough. Trap and ghoul. Wait. See? Not too bad. This is still pretty easy. Then we'll go right into the next. We can kind of do this in whatever order we want to. It doesn't really matter. That's a bummer. I'm going to try to use Fire Cat on them, but I don't know if these guys actually resist fire yet or not. They do. We did enough, though. We'll be fine. Wait.
Fire for Fiddle, as he loves to tell. Fire for Fiddle, the fiend of the fell. Fire for Fiddle, fire for Fiddle.
It's so cursed.
My strongbox! Thank you. Now about your question. I can't say for certain she's a witch, but there's a peculiar hermit who lives down the way. She keeps her windows drawn, and there's often strange smoke billowing from her chimney. That's the best I can give you. Hope it helps.
Wait.
What? How dare you interrupt an old woman from her stories? Did Ambrose send you to banish me? Well, I'm not going without a fight. What's that? Corrupted fire elves? Murderous magma men? The undead have spilled from Dark Cave? They need the witch's help? First off, I'm 100% not that witch. Or any witch, for that matter. I'm an alchemist. Secondly, this sounds like a city guard job. The guard is pinned down. Ugh, typical. All right, then, I'll help. But I need to know exactly what we're dealing with here. Take this special vial and collect a sample of magma from those magma men you mentioned for me to analyze. We'll go from there.
Alright, not too bad. Let's see, we're still level 5, okay. So we'll actually level up off this one here. For sure? Yeah, we will. We need to grab some mana too, because we're getting a little low. So with these guys, yeah, we also don't kill these guys in the first, or in the, with the trap and a ghoul, so we'll want to hit them first. So we won't have to grab mana because we should level up, so we should get it all back. So we might have to grab just one to get to the next fight. Oh, we fizzled. That's the first ghoul we fizzled. Wait. Well, there was some mono wisps back here. Where'd they go? If you guys remembered earlier, I told you to make sure you're watching the like movement patterns of these guys. You see that these guys turn around here, these guys turn around here, which leaves this little open space right here for us to cross the street with. And run over here to grab this. As long as we're faster than this guy, we should be fine. Cool. 2 mana, that's it. Oh, wait. 2's crazy. Alright, let's grab one more health wisp real quick and then we'll get back to it. And if anybody's curious to know how I'm moving around like that, if you just right click with your mouse, you can actually point your character in a certain direction. You can use WA, or well, I guess W and S really, to move as normal. And then you can even too, if you use right click, you can hold left or right click and then hold left click, and you can move using your mouse entirely as well. It's the last Magnum Man down. Very nice, and we leveled up off the fight. Didn't even need to turn in the quest. Sweet.
Oh, that was quick. Pew! You smell like sulfur. Now, hand me the magma, and I'll run a quick analysis on it. And done. Ah, looks like the root cause was a banshee's whale curse. Oh, and I recognize these melodic signatures. Bastilla Gravewind. Bastilla was the prima donna of the Fire Globe Theatre decades ago. She had a bitter relationship with the Fire Elves, especially fellow actors. During a performance of magic fire music, her elf co-star accidentally summoned actual fire magic, and that was the end of poor Bastilla. I'd heard that she had a thriving underworld theater career, but apparently she's decided to return with a vengeance. A banshee's whale curse works like an auditory virus. Rehearsals for that dreadful musical served as the perfect way to infect the masses. Thankfully, this particular whale seems to have no effect on humans, but we need to help the Fire Elves before their little brains melt. To reverse the curse, I'll need a Herkimer stone to record Bastilla's voice onto. Get one from the Rotting Fodder in Dark Cave.
Cool, we can definitely do that. Since we gotta go back towards the teleporters, because the Dark Cave is on the other side of this wall, so we have to go all the way around to get back there. So we'll go to teleporters. We'll check with Shellis here quick too and see if he's got any side quests for us. Yep, does now. Sweet.
Could I beg your help again, Wizard? After I went home to hide the strongbox you rescued, my house was looted. Not once, not twice, but thrice! As a relic stealer, I had set out several rare and immensely valuable items I'd hoped to sell to the crowds coming in for the fire festival. Just when I thought I was safe inside my home, haunted minions broke in. Mercifully, they were distracted by the shininess of the Emberstone ring. I hope it's not crude to say, but that ring was supposed to pay my mortgage. Please,
That's
Wizard,
crazy.
Get the Emberstone ring back for me.
That's crazy. Alright, so yeah, the minions are up by the gate, so we'll take the main gate teleporter here, kill a haunted minion. Hopefully we'll just have to... Ooh, Mistwood. Or if we'll just have to get one and then we can go to the dark cave, but we'll see. Cool. Got on the first one. Very nice. Yeah, now we can go to the dark cave and get that Herkimer stone. This is the only side quest I'm not taking, just because it requires you to go around and find a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to bother with that. The XP is not really worth it on that one. Look at that. That was quick. Probably should have
Take
the
our
market griddle.
Herkimer stone. We'll dig up another to record our sickened beats upon.
Very nice. I think, yeah, you guys doing that. Talk to Shellis here and
You got the Emberstone? As I was repairing the door, those insufferable haunted minions broke down. A clatter of skeletal warriors forced their way inside my house. I chased them out, but only after one of the bony bandits swiped an ancient Mushuian sword from my collection, called the Spirit of Mukugawa. When a sword has a name, you know it's valuable.
Wait,
Please, Wizard,
you had a
will
ring?
you recover the Spirit of Mukugawa
You had a
from
ring
the
you were
skeletal
using to pay
warriors?
for your mortgage, and now you're telling me you have a sword that I assume, if you're saying is probably valuable, you were also planning on using to pay for your mortgage? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, so we gotta go talk to Greta. I think, yeah, those skeletal warriors, we'll get to those guys here in a sec.
Ah, good. This Herkimer stone should work nicely to record Bastilla's wail. I'll override whatever noise the rotting fodder had imbued it with. You'll just need to get Bastilla mad enough to let out a good shriek. Herkimer stones naturally capture the sound waves of the undead. I did a little reconnaissance while you were gone. Big surprise, Bastilla is in her old house, the Diva's Tower, down the street. Good luck!
Cool. We're gonna, real quick here, we're gonna take, and I'm gonna put a marker down over by the skeletal warriors, because Bastilla here is the first boss in the game that we're going to encounter that's going to have a pretty strong resistance to death magic, because she herself is a Death Wizard, if you will. She's undead, so she's Death School. And that means she's going to significantly reduce the damage of our attacks. So the way we're actually going to fight her is we're going to utilize spells from another school to get it done. So we're going to go learn those spells really quick. So what we're going to do, just so you know, you can always get back to Ravenwood by teleporting to your dorm. It's just right here, and then you just exit out the door, and it'll put you right here in Ravenwood. So we're going to train life school spells, and the reason why we're training life school spells isn't because she's death and because life school spells will help us in our fight against her. It's actually because we're going to be training into the life school anyways, because we eventually want to acquire this right here. The game has a couple of new mechanics to it that we're going to take advantage of to effectively make us a death and life wizard, because you no longer require mastery amulets to be able to cast other school spells, and we'll get into that when we actually hit that point. It's not for a little while yet, but for right now, we're going to use Leprechaun to do some pretty decent damage to her, because we're going to need that little extra bit. Which actually I'm not going to put it in yet, because we got to go kill the Skeletal Warriors first. Let me go pick up some mana here fast to make up for the mana we used to make that marker. Yeah, some mistwood here too. Need that, so that's perfect. Right there.
The spirit of Mukogawa is no display piece. It was forged for combat. Take it. Just please don't let that fleshy fool squander its destiny.
We'll fight Bastilla here quick. And then this will be our first, probably actually difficult fight too. Yep, we got Pixie and the healing. Yep, we're good.
At last! I've been eagerly awaiting a review of the performance I gave for the Fire Elves. What? Are you not a fan? Well, Alistar is. None of you wretched living creatures' opinions will matter once the Dark Master's plan is fulfilled. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. Alrighty, so what we're going to do first is we're going to might just pass, honestly. Don't really have a great first hand. We're gonna work on taking that guy out first, so.
Once you activate the sigil, a countdown will start. When
Nice.
the timer runs out, anyone standing on the sigil will go inside the dungeon
Cool.
with you.
That's actually pretty awesome, so we'll be able to take out, well, I mean, as long as we don't fizzle, and we didn't, so he's gone. So it's just her. That actually already immediately makes this fight easier. Sweet. With that in mind too, I might honestly take and get rid of that, and I think we're gonna do this for now. I kind of want to pull a death trap. I think what we'll be able to do is I'll death trap Leprechaun, and then a sprite actually might be able to finish her off. Curious to know why that spell just did so much damage. Life attacks will boost, or they'll have increased damage against death enemies, and then likewise death attacks will have boost damage against life enemies. So you can kind of take advantage of that to get rid of these bosses a little easier. Like, we didn't have to heal that fight, so that was great. Sweet.
How dare you upstage my comeback performance? It was going so well, too. I laughed. I cried. Oh, it was better than Firecats. Enjoy this day, whelp. For when you bear witness to Malister's malum opus, then you will be sorry. This entire wretched city will be sorry!
Cool. And then we did get a hat that's even better than this level 10 hat. It's pretty nice, actually. Cool. Double check our gear here real quick too, just make sure. Sweet. Oop. Get that. Cool. Then we'll head back to Shellis and Greta here, so we'll take this teleporter here, so go talk to Shellis, and then we'll hit up Greta.
The spirit of Mukugawa! Thank you, wizard. There's a huge gouge in the blade. I'll be lucky to get 100 gold pieces for this now. Oh well, something's better than nothing, I suppose. Now, the relic I want back the most is worth 1,000 spirit of Mukugawas.
Okay.
Just as I put the final nail into my repaired front door, the most disgusting creature I've ever seen came crashing in through a window. Then I realized I recognized the horrid monster. Rather, I recognized who he used to be. The spiral-renowned thief, James Annalita. James paid for his life of crime with a sentence of death, only to continue his thieving ways in the underworld under the moniker Wormguts. But Wormguts has returned to the land of the living, and he came for the relic that cost him his life. The Sleeper's timepiece. I chased him to a tower down the way, but I was no match for Wormguts and his undead minions. Could you retrieve the Sleeper's timepiece?
Oh, look at that. Cool. And I think, we level up off this too, don't we? Yes, we do. Nice. And then we can get into fishing.
Did you capture Bastilla's whale? Great! What's that? She warned there's still more to Malister's sinister plan? Wait, Malister's behind this? Malister? Drake? The Death Professor? I'd heard he blew himself up with the Death School after his sweet wife, Sylvia, passed. Truth be told, I'm not surprised. There was always a certain darkness about him. Sylvia was too good for that entire Drake family, if you ask me. Nonetheless, we still need to transmute Bastilla's whale into a cure for the Fire Elves. We'll just need a few things before we can get started. Unfortunately, the alchemical transmutation will require some equipment that I'm no longer privy to. One student turns himself into a humongo frog, and everyone wants the alchemy professor run out of town. Bartleby forbid Ambrose have my back. Anyhow, I can make do with crafting equipment. Here's a list of items to borrow from Gloria Crendel in Old Town. Just, don't mention my name.
Ominous. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and mark our location here. I'm gonna go to Ravenwood real quick because
Could you come see me? I need your help.
We're gonna accept this spell quest from Malorn. We're not gonna do it in this video, but I'm gonna accept it because it does give us Deathblade, which very similarly to Death Trap will increase our outgoing death damage. So we will definitely want to acquire that, but we'll do that at the start of the next video.
As they say, knowledge is power. I think it's about time you do some research. You'll need to go to the haunted cave. That is, if you're brave enough. Once there, search around the graveyard for where the Elder Seer is buried. Remember, a graveyard wouldn't scare a death student. At least not a brave one.
Cool. Now we got that. Yeah, we'll do that at the start of the next video. Right now, what we're going to do for the last part of this video is we're going to go to the Commons and we're going to talk to Lucky Hookline. He is the start, really, of the fishing quest line. So we're going to talk to this fella right here.
Hello, Wizhead. I'm Lucky Hookline, famous fisher and Pisces collector. You might have heard about the 60-inch whopper I caught. No? Ah, well, let me tell you, fishing is a terrific hobby, and you won't find a more relaxing pastime, If you like, I can teach you how to cast for fish. Magically, of course. Then you can catch your own whoppers. First off, you gotta be in an area of the spiral populated with fish. You'll know you are when the fishing icon appears. Clicking the fishing icon button displays your fishing spells. Fishing is a magical activity in the spiral, you know. Your fishing spells consist of fish-catching spells and fishing utility spells. Click on a fish-catching spell to cast a magical lure. You want it to land in front of a fish so they notice it. If you don't like where your lure lands, click the Cancel Spell button to quickly recast the spell. When the magical lure flashes, that means a fish has noticed it and is coming closer to take a nibble. As it nibbles, the lure will rise and fall a bit. The trick is to wait until the lure completely sinks below the water. Then you reel him in. Timing is crucial, so be sure to hit the spacebar quickly to invoke the fish-catching spell properly. And so are your spells. Every fish has a magical school type, and fish are more attracted to lures from their same school. When you use a lure correctly, your magic will snare the fish and float it back to you, alright? You'll see the name and size of every fish you catch. Small fries are the tiniest ones, while whoppers are the biggest. Fish are stored in your fish basket. The angler's tome has a record of all the fish you ever caught. Click on it to open it. The angler's tome will tell you how many of each type you've caught, along with the smallest and larger sizes. Another important tip to know is that every fish you come across responds only to your presence, no matter what. So don't worry about competition, or that other wizards will scare away the fish. You're the only one who can do that. Now that I've explained the basics of our magical fishing, let me give you the Lesser Frost Lure. It's a good basic lure spell. Go to the water behind old Zeke over there and use the Lesser Frost Lure to catch a frost decoy and a nice cuda.
Right. So the biggest reason why we're going to do fishing and why we're going to develop fishing and why we're really going to hammer home fishing and we're going to be doing this a lot is because we need a lot of money. Right now we have about 400 gold, which is nothing. I mean, that's nothing. I can hardly buy anything with 400 gold in this game. And this mount we were given at the start of this episode, it's only a 24-hour mount. And it doesn't stop when I log out. When I log out, this timer keeps going. So we only get this for one day, and that's it. And then we're back to walking around in the game. Don't really want to do that. Walking around is horribly slow, and it just makes a lot of these areas in this game are already big, and you're going to do a ton of walking anyways, so there's no point in making it any slower. So we need money. And there's two ways that we can acquire mounts. We can either go to the crown shop up here, go to the mounts tab and then permanent mounts, and you can get mounts in here. Unfortunately, most of the mounts in here are going to be crowns, and again, we aren't buying any crowns for this series. I'm going to kind of show you how we can do this without having to buy crowns. So what we need is a mount we can buy with gold, and you can still buy mounts with gold in the crown shop. You just have to find the ones you can buy. So the first one that I know of, at least, that you can buy with gold is where is it? Like the Proud Lion or Chestnut Pony. These three right here, actually. The Chestnut Pony, Proud Lion, and Bengal Tiger. These can all be bought with gold. You see this tab right here. You just hit this, shop with gold. And then it will update it to show all of the different mounts you can actually buy with gold. The cheapest one in here is this Chestnut Pony. So this might be the one we end up buying just because it's the cheapest. But I also might, we'll see if we save some money, we might get one of the other cooler ones. Like we could get this Blue Dragon for 85k, which is actually cheaper than the Lion mount, surprisingly. So who knows, maybe we'll go with one of these, might go with one of the Tiger mounts. We could do even, honestly, a Broom mount. You know, we'll decide on something when we kind of get a little closer to that point. Now obviously this is a lot of gold. The cheapest one again was 50,000, which is, it's a lot. It's a ton of gold. Again, we're 2 hours into this and we've only gotten 400 gold, so that took us a really long time to get that. But fishing is a way we can get gold quite a bit quicker. We now have a new player stat down here in the bottom left. You can see it's called energy. It's also right here in your character page. This is what we use to do fishing. So anytime we cast a lure, I believe the first rank one costs 3 energy per lure. So it'll take up 3 every time we catch fish. So we're going to use this to catch fish. With 53 energy, I think we'll be able to catch roughly about 10 fish, which should net us roughly about 10,000 gold. So each time we do this, we'll get about 10,000 gold. I do plan on doing fishing each and every single time I level up. So anytime I level up, I'm putting a mark down and I'm immediately going fishing. Because each time we do it, again, we get 10k gold. And every time you level up, all of your stats get refreshed. So we will get all of this energy back every single time we level up. And I believe up until, I think it's all the way up until level 132, or no, it can't be level 130. When you level up, you get more energy. I don't think you always get more energy. It might be one every other level for a certain amount of time, all the way up till we hit maybe 100 is where I think it stops, and then at level 100 to level 130, you get 1 per level or something like that. But either way, this number will go up as we continue to level up, so we'll get even more energy as we go. But yeah, each time we level up, I'm going to be doing that. So we're going to be doing just a ton of fishing, doing so much fishing because we need a lot of money. Those mounts for the permanent ones were, again, cheapest was 50k, but there's also another thing we're going to be doing that costs a lot of money, and that's pet hatching. Pet hatching, I want to say it's going to cost us anywhere from 45,000 up to as much as 90,000 for each hatch we do. And with pet making in this game, you don't make a pet with just one hatch. It takes several hatches. So you can do the math there to figure out how expensive that's going to be. It's going to cost us a ton of money. So we just need a lot of money. And when we get into, again, this will probably happen somewhere around level 20. Maybe it'll be a little earlier than that, but it'll probably be somewhere around level 20. We'll go into why we really want to focus a lot on our pet, what we're doing with that. So we're going to take advantage of that to get all this money for that. But to solve the mount problem, at least for the time being, right? Because I'm not going to be able to get 50,000 gold for a couple levels yet. We're going to actually buy mounts from Prospector Zeke here. Prospector Zeke actually sells one-day mounts, and they're fairly cheap. It's only 1,000 gold for one, so we can, again, each level will get roughly about 10,000 gold. Sometimes it'll be a little more. So we can drop 1,000 gold on a mount to use for the day. So this will help us get around that mount problem for quite a while. And again, it's a pretty cheap solution to that problem too. It's definitely cheaper than 50,000, that's for sure. So we can kind of use this to budget out our gold for a little while. I want to say too, you also have the ability to buy rentals, I think, for gold in the Crown Shop. Yeah, and I mean, this, honestly, for 30k, I don't think that's worth it for a 7-day. Very cheaper ones in here. You know, Seraph Wings for 10k is not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's not great either, though, because obviously we're going to be spending 1,000 a day, so we can get through a week with just 7,000 gold as opposed to 10,000 on this one here. So our money's a little bit wiser spent with Prospector Zeke. But at least with this, we wouldn't have to worry about it expiring while we're using it. So, you know, there's options. And there's also Chestnut Pony up here for 10k too. So you got some options for getting mounts without having to spend the full 50,000 or otherwise. You know, right out of the gate, we can kind of be a little smarter with our money. But we're gonna get started on fishing. So all you have to do to start fishing is you just walk up to a pond or any body of water, and sometimes it's not even water, just anything that contains fish like this. And there's this fishing button right here all the way on the right side, right above our spell tome. We just hit this. And we only have one fishing spell right now, and it's just that common, you know, or I guess lesser frost lure to catch ice fish, rank 1 ice fish specifically. The fishing spells work a lot like normal spells in the game too, where in the top left there, it displays the rank of the spell. Top right is the quote-unquote school. It's just a fishing spell, so just as a fishing icon. The bottom left is the amount of energy it costs to use it, and then in the bottom right is the type. So again, it's a lure spell, so it's for catching fish. I think this quest is automatically set up so that the first 2 fish you catch are actually the 2 you need. So let's go ahead and just catch these really quick. When you click on the spell, it'll throw out the lure. The lure goes at predetermined distance, so you can kind of get used to how casting works just by doing this a couple of times. And you don't catch the fish until the fish actually bites on it and pulls the lure under. It makes a very distinct noise, so you'll see it here. Usually in this 3rd try is when it'll go. And then you don't want to pull it too early. You kind of want to wait until that lure sinks under the water. And then ideally I try to stay out of the pond when you're fishing, because if any one of these fish happen to swim under you while you're catching another fish, it'll scare that fish away, which will also result in you losing the fish you're trying to catch. So until the ponds are a little more thinned out, there's less fish in them, I try to just catch them from the shore. Alrighty, cool. Yes, we got our 2 fish. We're actually not going to turn this quest in, because when you turn this quest in, he actually gives you an energy elixir. An energy elixir will instantly replenish all of your energy. So we're going to try to maximize this 47 we still have left as best we can by fishing in other places. So we're going to go into here. This is the Castle Tours headquarters. This is an area which actually allows you to go to other players' houses, and we're going to do that because some of the fish you can catch in player houses are worth a lot of money. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to her here. This will allow us to actually go visit a tour. We're going to hit Visit Castle. We're going to go to the top rated section, and then we're looking for specifically one of at least 3 houses. The best house you can go to for fishing is called the Arrow Village. The second is probably the Sky City Estates, and then the third would probably be the Polarian Shipwreck. We're going to try to see if we can find an Arrow Village. There's probably one in here somewhere. When you come into this menu right here, you can filter alphabetically. So we're going to filter... what in the world? Why is it... Well, why is... Okay. Whatever, I don't know why that's at the top, but this is the one we need though, so we'll come back to this if we can't find an Arrow Village. But we're just gonna look for Arrow Village, which I'm pretty sure we didn't find one here because it's AE, so it would have been pretty much right here. Let me just double check and make sure, because yeah. Okay, yeah, so there isn't one in this list, so we'll go back, go to top decorated, and we're just gonna do this until we hopefully find an Arrow Village. And it looks like there isn't one in this menu either. This one. Yeah, it's not one in this one either. Here's an Arrow Village. Perfect. So we're going to click on this one to go visit it. And then what you want to do as soon as you get to one of these places, or any house you tour, is we're going to want to favorite this. This will allow us to come back to this castle anytime. To be entirely honest, for how popular this house is, I'm actually really surprised that it took us that long to find this house. So that's kind of unlucky. So hopefully you'll be able to find one if you do this yourself. But again, we just want to go because we just want to go fishing. And we only have this rank 1 lure, so this is the only thing we can use. A lot of these fish that are in this pond here are not going to be ice fish. And unfortunately, when you use a lure to catch a fish that is not of that school, the odds that you actually catch that fish go down. So even if you fish perfectly and you know, pull it out of the water at the right time, there's still a chance you won't catch that fish. It'll probably happen to us at least a couple of times while we're here, so some of these fish we're not going to catch, but we're going to try our best. So we'll see what we can do here. We'll start fishing. Even if you do have a lure that's of the wrong school, sometimes you can still catch fish of different schools if you have a higher ranked lure. Again, we just started fishing, so yeah, this is probably going to happen a fair bit. Cool. So we got our first fish. I don't think this one's worth a particularly crazy amount of money, but as you saw, that one was also a stormfish, so we just caught one that wasn't of the school our lure is, so it's definitely doable, just not as easy. Chances aren't guaranteed. Should also probably mention too that I'm surprised we didn't catch that one. The specific reason why we're back here and not fishing over here is because the fish that spawn in this portion of the house are worth a little bit more money, or at least I should say one of the fish that spawns back here is worth a little more money. It's a fairly rare fish though. It might only be here maybe every other time we come here, so we're not always going to catch it, but it's worth about 5,000 gold when you catch it, so just that one fish on its own, you know, gets us halfway to a week rental amount, so. Cool, I think we just leveled up in fishing too. Oh, well, we've leveled up twice already, actually. Dang. We're already level 3. Darn, that sucks. Alright, well, I think everybody kind of gets the basic point of fishing and why we're doing what we're doing here. I'll show you real quickly here, because we only caught a couple of fish, but I'll show you how much these couple of fish are worth, because we're about to probably like triple the amount of money we have on us right now, just off of those 3 fish alone. Grab that.
Look at the sizes of the frost decoy and ice cootie you caught. As you But we need to get on with your next fishing lesson. So here, have this energy elixir so we can get started.
Mind, I just realized that we can't sell our fish yet, so I'll have to show that, I guess, some other time. To avoid taking the energy elixir, we're just gonna quick log, and you see that put the quest back to the way it was. Still at the same energy we were, so we avoided actually grabbing that. So I guess I won't be able to show how much the fish we caught are worth, but that's basically fishing. Again, we're gonna be doing that a ton because we need a ton of money to be able to do just about anything in this game. So I think I'm just going to end the video there for today. Feel free to leave any comments down below about anything regarding either the series, some advice you might have, or how you felt about the video, just whatever you want. Sometimes I will be going through the comment section on these videos and talking about them when we're doing some of the slower stuff in the game, like fishing, or sometimes when we're crafting, I'll look and respond to comments in the video. For the next video here, I'm going to do some fishing off recording, and then I will probably make sure when I go to start recording tomorrow that I do all my fishing before I even press record. So I'll have all that stuff out of the way. I think for the purposes of the videos, I probably also won't be including myself doing fishing, just because it's not particularly entertaining. There's really nothing going on there. I'm just basically pressing the button once to cast and then once to reel it back in, and then just kind of rinse and repeat. So there's not really a whole lot going on there. So I won't subject you guys to it. For the purposes of today's video, though, I'll just include it in a chapter. So if you don't want to watch the fishing, then you can skip it. And for tomorrow's video too, I might do that as well. So I might show off any time that I go fishing between levels. I'm still kind of 50-50 on that, and I don't really know what I want to do. So there's a first comment you can leave down below as whether or not you want me to even leave the fishing stuff in there, and just put chapters in the video so you can skip around it if you wanted to, and so that way it's in the video, or if I could just skip it and you guys don't even have to watch it. But hopefully in tomorrow's video, hopefully we'll reach level 10. Hopefully we can get that far. I know that doesn't sound like very far because we went from level 1 to 7 today, but again, I'm going to be doing an absolute ton of fishing, so there's going to be a lot going on kind of between quests and all the other stuff we're going to be doing. I might also try to do that crafting quest tomorrow, so we'll kind of get into that and explain that too. But all that being said, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode.